the kitty some snacks. And he's very chivalrous. He shares his food, huh? He said, don't give him my food. Okay, give him my food. Sally, you're a good cat in a mood. You want to share with him your food? Oh my goodness. I'm so tired. Let me give this Lilith kitty some morsels. It was a cloudless day. That's weird to me. Cloudless days are weird to me. Freaking D-bag next door got his car rub going. Maybe we'll be gone more. He's not a good man. There's a lot of freaking bad people in this world. I'm sick of it. You know what? Freaking sick of it. Just over it. Tiny little men. Oh, mad. You know, angry at everybody. Get over your hurt feelings, sir. For the love of God. Alright, here we go. God, I'm a lot shorter than I was with those little shoes on. Where are those shoes at? Alrighty, go relax, please. Good boy. Go lay down. Take a load off. You don't got nothing to do. You just went out. Just lay down. That's all. You don't gotta do nothing. You don't gotta go punch into no time clock or nothing. I gotta do one more thing. Ma!
Yeah?
You ever been to Farmington, New Mexico?
No.
In your life? Do you remember it all? You've been to Silver City, huh?
Silver City.
I think I gotta look it up. I think it's south. Is it south or is it west of here?
That's what?
I'm not real clear on my geography. I drove out here from Flagstaff
Oh, you did.
on a 40. Let me look it up real quick. Farmington, New Mexico. It's 4 hours. So it's where I thought it was. So it's how we came in, like through the middle of the state. We could have come in through that way. Like I could but we came across through Gallup, Albuquerque, and then up that way. And we were trying to beat a snowstorm. But Farmington is up near Four Corners. So it's 4 hours from here. It's up where the Navajo Nation is. Well, it's it is all, Mom. All this, it's all Indian land. It's just all. Anyway, the story that I want to talk about, let me see what was the newspaper there? The Farmington, is it the Daily Times? Is that out of, yeah, is it the same, because there's, see if there's any story about the local story that I'm going to talk about first. Today's headlines. Look at all these people. They don't even look like real people. I have no soul. I sold my soul for white teeth. What the fuck is that? That's not how real people look. Jesus Christ. What planet you living on, lady? Land of the lizards? Stanley's getting in the chair. It's his new thing. I see that dude, McConnell dude's retiring. Why are these people allowed to be in their positions of power for 107 years? Rotation of service. Otherwise, they're freaking... They stink up the place, and people like that McConnell dude have been stinking up D.C. for freaking decades. Ugh. All of them. That guy, I love turtles. My given name to me, Standing Turtle. And so when people say it looks like a turtle, I'm like, dude, turtles ain't claiming that, dude. So the story that I heard, there's nothing in the newspaper. I wear red for my sisters. Is Josie. I don't know Josie. She came across my algorithm because I'm like-minded, see, because this stuff has a real special place real close to my heart, because I'm one of these women that has lived a whole life and has had a whole lot of atrocious things happen to her, all that people of importance designated by themselves with badges and certifications and letters behind their names that are all just saying, you know what? That stuff don't happen. And I'm a product. I'm a product of my environment. The only thing is I don't want to be like them, so I went the other way. So I'm trying to educate young women the importance of having respect for yourself, and don't let anybody touch you, lay hands on you, unless they really, really, really deserve to, unless they care about you, and they only want to touch you in kind and loving ways. And there's a lot of people out there that don't want to do that with people. They just want to take their essence, and they want to cause harm, and they want to make money, and they want to sell tail, and they want to do this, and they want to do that, and they want to chew people up, and they want to spit them out. And Josie told a story earlier. Stop human trafficking. 24 girls. I don't know if I can play this stuff on here. This is her videos. 24 kidnapped girls were found in Farmington. This stuff happened in a Chinese restaurant. This stuff happens every day, all over the place, all on everyone's watch that's getting direct deposit for taking care of business and handling these situations. You know what filing a police report is? It's asking people to do something, asking people to care like that's their own family. Asking people, and then they just don't. And they just sit on their, they'll just sit on the, because you know what? People in an active state, they don't become fluffy like that. People that do the work don't become morbidly obese. So that's how I know these freaking people aren't doing the work. This happens all over. I wed a guy a couple years ago, and he was telling me a story about how when he was in Las Cruces, that they were hanging out with these young girls, and these young girls were like, hey, You know some other, I'm looking for some other girls that want to party. You got to go out to this guy's ranch and probably have some sex with some fucking old dudes, but you'll make a lot of money. That was Epstein's ranch. See, this stuff is common knowledge, but people don't care. When people fall through the cracks down the cracks of society, and society doesn't care, everybody's talking about, do it for the kids, protect the children, protect the children. I'm one of these kids that didn't get protected, and I wasn't protected as I grew up. And so what I did is I learned how to protect myself, and I just call out who the dirties are. And if they don't like it, they're gonna, or if hey, if anybody wants to dispute my freaking, hey, you want to disprove my claim or, whatever. Hey, I'm teachable. Show me where I'm wrong. Usually people just show people where I'm right. No, the governor's nowhere, Josie, because she's too busy going on vacation in Dubai with her special interests, all these people, 6, 7, 8 generation. This person comes across my Twitter feed. I'm 8 generation New Mexico, so I'm like, so should we blame your family for turning this land into shit? I did a video this morning about the bureaucrats here in Taos that make their little pamphlets and their graphs and their "we care" signs, and our plan designated for 3 years out and all this shit. I sent the group my video, so maybe, hey, I hope you watched it. And I also challenged every person on that homeless or that housing committee, go stay the night. 3 nights and 4 days homeless. And I encourage everyone in their communities, go be a homeless person. Make all of them do it. Make it mandatory. In order to hold this position, you must spend 3 nights and 4 days amongst living on your streets, amongst your constituents. And then you use your own systems and try to get through using the tools that you put in place and see how easy it gets helped. I bet that 3-year time limit gets bumped down. I bet it speeds up. Once these bureaucrats that have fluffy little pillows and are all warm and cozy in their beds every night. And in the summer, they're all toasty cold with their air conditioning. And they go down to their freaking offices with their air conditioning, all paid by taxpayers. It could be, everybody could have enough, but no, the bureaucrats have to hog it all for themselves because that's what small-minded people do. They have the mentality of lack. Lack comes from the top, not the bottom. So as a female that was raped as a 10-month-old baby and witnessing sexual deviances transpire against my own mother until she stopped, until she's like, okay, I don't hang out with nobody no more because people are freaking bad. She just trusts people too. Right? It happens too much. Nobody should ever be disappeared. And there's too many people that get lost, and this stuff that isn't happening. It's not poor people and freaking scumbags in the gutter that are doing this shit. No, it's men in really expensive suits that have a certain persuasion, and they will take it if it is not freely given. And there's a lot of dudes out there that like us. Whatever. I don't know. There's an episode on it. There's an episode on it on Longmire about it. It's a really vulgar, gross joke about how these guys like to go out and poke a Pocahontas. They got these checklists and they got these bucket lists and they got these items that they want to mark off, and a lot of the shit that they do is fucking gross, dude. And it's so many people's uncles and brothers and nephews and sons. You know who they are. You know who they are. Because people can't perpetuate their levels of deceit without having freaking support. Without having alliances. And so many of them, they're supporter of their own wives. It's disgusting. So where I live, where I grew up, people taking all the time. Live in New Mexico, women just, because they're born into environments that they don't care. See, because people are just because anybody can have sex. There's a lot of people on this planet just because of that. There's a lot of people here that freaking have had really, really uncomfortable lives just because two people wanted to chase sensations. There's a lot of byproducts of people that have been thrown away that we don't fit any place in this system. So I'm trying to change the system so it's a little bit more accommodating for everybody, not just the dill holes at the top. And people need to be more concerned about young girls disappearing. And you know what's even worse? How many of these parents are freaking selling their kids? New Mexico's big on throwing people away. Ma was thrown away in the 50s. They've been doing it ever since. Everybody talks about tribes and, you're so disrespectful. I'm a product in my environment, dude. Yeah, I guess I could rise above it, but what do people think happens when people are neglected year after year after and ignored decade after decade saying, hey, people like me need help. And then the people that freaking can do it just slow blink and don't do it because they don't fucking feel like it. And now we're heading up on the collective wave of bullshit. Things are going to get real bad on this land because that's what happens when self-will runs riot. And more bad stuff is going to happen, and it's going to happen in good neighborhoods too. So a lot of these folks that have been, oh my God, and I know they exist because I've had conversations with them, and I've worked amongst them, and I've been around them, and they really haven't had a whole lot of catastrophic events happen in their life. Nothing to make them disassociate once, let alone freaking, learning how to do it on a whim. You know what I mean? It's so nice that so many people had some so fluffy lives while young girls are being freaking sold. Karma's coming, man. It is gonna be so gnarly. Everybody's talking about authenticity. Cracks me up. Fake people fucking with plastic surgery, a Botox bet with shit in their face, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta be an authentic person." I'm like, dude, your face don't even look real. Talking to me about authenticity, I ain't buying that stuff. No way, man. I ain't buying that. You must have me confused with some other sucker. So, there was another story I got a screenshot because evidently I need to know about these women so they don't get forgotten. So I'll mention them. Given if it's when, and I'll take a screenshot. So this is Billy Daniel Bennett. Bennett, 44, was last seen in Cody, Wyoming on July 16, 2021. She has never been heard from again. On July 19th, her black 2000 Chevy extended cab pickup truck was found abandoned near Crystal Creek Rest Area off U.S. Highway 14A east of Lovell, Wyoming. All of her belongings, including her wallet, were still inside. Bennett was experienced in working in the oil industry and may have contacts in southern and eastern Wyoming. See, that's the thing, is that there's a lot of stuff in this world that isn't of this world. You know what I mean? Interdimensional shit. Stuff you can't explain. In the woods, in the cities, in the dark, in the shadows, in people. Right? And it ain't that world anymore, and it's important that if you're going to travel, whether you're female or male, let some person, at least one person, know your route, have checkpoints, call in, let people know that if you don't show that, and there's a lot of people out here in the world that freaking, dude, I go missing, ain't nobody coming to look for me. And if something happens to me and I expire, mom and the dogs go right with me because ain't nobody's taking care of them too. Ain't nobody gonna, because nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to freaking inconvenience themselves to make people's lives better.
Well, I guess they do, but the scale in which the Grande Gross are, they win, right? But this stuff is just happening way too much. I mean, it's everywhere. You know? And my dad did it too. He did it too. You know? That's how I know what fucking bad men are. I've been around them my whole entire life, and I'm not going to be freaking blinded by, oh, that's your dad. You should, dude, no, that's too many other people do that shit, man. They're protecting their fucking, I'm not protecting, my dad's a dick, and so is my brother. And neither of them fucking ain't never done me a whole lot of favors. And I've had a lot of terrible shit happen to me, and neither of them were there to fucking, you know, protect me or defend me or teach me what it was to, you know, be an example of what a man was that protected women and not beat them up. My dad never hit me, but my brother beat my ass when he was over 18. He's a lawyer now. If I would have called the fucking cops back then, would he be a lawyer? No. I know what a scumbag is because I'm directly related to them, and they all wear the same colognes. They wear the same shoes. They wear the same brands of socks. They all act the same, man, and they try not to, and they'll freaking avoid situations and places that they used to, but they'll still do the same behaviors in the dark. You know. I guess if more people were loyal to me, I would have been more. But I don't, since they weren't. I don't know what that is. So I guess, you know, I get to talk about whatever I want because it's my experience. And if people didn't want me to talk about the shitty ways they behaved towards me, maybe they shouldn't have behaved that way. Right? I mean, I've needed help a lot, and like the last 7 years, I've like my whole entire life, I'm like, dude, I've been able to handle situations, places, things. I said, but I guess I'm supposed to learn how to reach out and ask for help. And I reach out to ask for help, and people just like, they don't even tell me no, they just ignore me. People on my own feed, like, I mean, I've done GoFundMes. Nobody fucking cares, dude. I could fucking die and go away, and I'm just like another one of these freaking brown women that nobody gives a shit about. I'm just gonna squawk a lot before I go. Before I fall off into the realm of obscurity. Waving my arms. Hey! At least I did some shit and I wasn't a big old slut. Didn't have 12 kids with freaking 8 different dads. You know, I healed all my stuff. I didn't fucking, you know, I'm not doing a bunch of drugs. I don't drink every day. I don't drink, period. It takes your freaking soul. I'm generous to other people. People are happy to see me when they see me. More than they're not. Cops in Old Taos, they don't like seeing me because they're all fluffy and they know that I'm about fitness, and they're like, oh, I saw one today. He was like, oh, God, there's that bitch. There she is. Oh, God, if I just pretend I'm just going to get my gas and I'm going to look over here. I'm not going to make eye contact with her because she's going to tell me I'm a disgrace to this uniform. And Lord knows I already know that I am. Shit, I can tell. Look, I'm not dumb. I mean, I might be, I'm trying to educate, not berate. I did the work, and if I could do the work, and if they didn't, and they get paid for it by taxpayers to I was telling Mr. Iskey, I was talking to Mr. Iskey today. I know Mr. Iskey since he was my first friend I made when I got to Offutt Air Force Base. And you think, it's such a serious thing. People think the military's, ooh, here's the toolbox I built. It was cool, because on the inside, it all had foam, and everything was all cut out and stuff. But this is how they play too much. They get paid to play. That was Bryden. He was getting out, so they tie you to a wash rack, and then if they really like you, or if they don't, they'll take food and like ketchup and put it in a big bowl, and like milk and stuff, and then let it get rancid, and then they'll douse you with that in the wash rack. So this is what the military really is. It's, oh no, that stuff happens. Doesn't happen. Yeah. It does. All while fucking people don't get their basic needs. You know, there's enough for everybody, but you got these freaking hogs that on top that you know, get to declare who gets what. This is when I went to Greece. That's out the hotel room. That's where I was for Operation Iraqi bullshit. So anyway, Mr. Iskey is my first friend at Office Air Force Base. He's a civilian. He worked at the heater crew. And I said, you know, Mr. Iskey, I said, they created a monster. I said, because they made the wrong person go on the weight management program. Because they were going to, because if you don't fit a certain body mass index, that you aren't in standards, and you get fired from the military if you're fat, if you're not within the body standards of what they designate. And I always had a hard time because I've had more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. And it is, and then like, and then they got to go measure my stuff, you know, all this stuff. And then I had to go to the gym. I freaking ran on the cross trainer for 7 months, Monday through Friday, without fail. For 7 months, I ran on the cross trainer on level 10, listening to the Offspring smash, to get off that stupid program, while the people that told me I needed to be on it, they're the ones that should have been on it. The military is just like any other club. It's just complete bullshit. And the rules and regulations and policies and procedures, they're there and put in place to weed out the people that they don't like. And the people that are left, most of them are fucking scoundrels, man. Officers, scumbags. All of them. All branches. Army, Navy, Air Force, Semper Fi, went from Semper Fi to Semper Suck. Yeah, you want to see how badass they were after they got back from Operation Iraqi bullshit shock, and all these guys were fucking pissing themselves. They were crying over themselves. Because they had to realize after Operation Iraqi, they brought 550 Mews in to the hangar where I worked. I couldn't fucking do my job because there are all these fucking Marines around that were all freaking crying and sad, and then they let them drink, and then they fucking trashed the base because they went into their freaking shell shock, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe what I did. And there were no weapons of mass destruction, and it's all, you know. And they did things, and now they got that reel in their head, and they can't ever unplay it. Big old bad. Give me a fucking break. Come on, be men. Build your fucking country. Go put in some frickin' water lines, you know, out in some of these places in northern New Mexico. Come and put in utilities out in the middle of nowhere. Do shit like that. Why don't you do something useful instead of killing people and getting paid for in places we have no business being in? Because some bullshit tradition is frickin' dead people telling you what to do and you falling for it. You don't take life. You don't cause harm. You don't hurt people. You don't kill things because it's fun and it gets your willies up. You just don't, man. There's universal law. And there's all these people that just don't even care about it. Go down doing that, whatever you want. And now everybody else just gets to freaking endure the side effects of their freaking egomaniacal, narcissistic freaking existence. So I guess it's just best to stay out of the way, let them all freaking burn themselves out like little fucking idiot children that don't want to lay down for a nap. And once they freaking ruin everything, then we can build shit back up, right? Huh, Tuck? Yeah. Anyway, I've always been looking out, man. I know, I've seen it my whole life, man. It's everywhere. See something, say something. If you don't... Dude, that's some freaking nasty ass karma, dude. I've seen too many. I hear too. I'm like, really? You didn't say nothing? You didn't do nothing? Well, you're just here to tell that story, huh? All right. Oh, well. Anyway, it's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a